I don't know what it is with me in Metroid games, but for some reason I like the franchise, but I don't think I can say there's a game I like other than Prime 1 and Fusion. I'm playing on normal mode, because forget hard mode. Hard mode's a pain. Metroid. A virulent, or virulent? I don't know. Floating organism that drained energy from its prey through physical contact. Metroids were originally created by the Chozo and named after their word for the ultimate warrior. Their value as a bioweapon sparked several crises, and as a result, all traces of them have been eliminated. They are now extinct. A gelatinous parasitic organism, the X-parasite, indigenous to the planet SR-388, it could absorb the DNA of its host, living or dead, and replicate its form. When infecting a living host, it could even access the host's memories. X-parasites were driven not by emotion, but by an instinctive need to replicate, and spread to increasingly stronger hosts. Their inability to be controlled marked them as even more dangerous than their sole predator, the Metroids. Like the Metroids, they are believed extinct. This game takes place directly after Metroid Fusion. So if you remember Fusion, Samus got infected and all that. With no Metroid surviving on SR-388, it became infested with the X, horrifying parasites capable of imitating any living being. Unaware of this, I set foot on the planet, got infected, and almost died. I like the fact that the little icon there in the little bubble was one of the old icons for a Metroid. That's nice. That's a nice little touch. The only thing that saved me was a vaccine created from Metroid DNA, which also left me uniquely able to oppose the X. This ability was tested immediately when I went to a Biologic Space Laboratories, BSL, research station to investigate a distress signal. There I battled many powerful X forms, including the SAX, which was the X mimicking me in my power suit at full strength. I eventually eliminated the X menace on SR-388 by setting the BSL research station on a collision course with the planet. After that, the X and Metroids were just memories, or so we thought. Just when it all seemed over, the Galactic Federation received a mysterious video transmission. It showed an X, alive in the wild. Thorough analysis proved the video was real. Although the sender was unknown, the transmission was traced to a particular planet. It was called ZDR. If the X had somehow escaped extinction out there, they would pose a threat to the entire galaxy. The Galactic Federation dispatched a research team of 7 EMI to investigate. An EMI is a large research robot designed to capture field samples and extract their DNA. Their incredible mobility and protective plating, made of the strongest stuff in the universe, practically guaranteed the mission's success. But not long after their arrival on ZDR, all communication was lost. What is happening on ZDR? Is the planet really infested by X? As the only one immune to the parasites, it is up to me to go there and find out. Well, just my drink made a weird noise because the ice cubes in it positioned weirdly and they Released air in an odd way. I do like how they let her keep the fusion chip.
Will soon be entering ZDR's atmosphere.
The bounty for this mission does not seem appropriate. The risk clearly outweighs the reward. Treat our lost assets with care, lady.
Entering the atmosphere in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That elevator leads to the depths of an underground facility. Signal quality is likely to be low. Remote communication remains difficult. Try to connect to the facility's network when you reach the bottom. That way, you can remain in contact. Any objections, lady?
Or if you ever needed any proof that this game takes place after fusion. I gotta make one complaint about her suit. Her suit, her suit looks really nice in this game. However, that's mostly the color schemes. The suit, like if you look at her like actual the parts of her suit, her visor, it's mostly the visor, but it's the visor on the shoulders. She looks way too aggressive in this game. Anyway, left and right. It's your basic, left and right movement. Bottom button is jump. Or, sorry, B is jump because this is on Switch. Y is shoot. Shoot can go forward, it can go diagonally up, or it can go up, or it can go diagonal if you're running. You can, while running, push ZL to slide. Or while you're standing, you can hold left bumper she'll move backwards a little bit. And this red line will appear. This red line is free aim. You can fire it in a full 360 with this free aim. Shoot those weird little red growths, and you will just, you know, you'll break them. These white blocks are beam blocks. It wants you to do this. However, wall jumping in this game is the easiest it's been in any game in the series. It's just push the button. So, R, right bumper, changes the head on her gun, and when you fire, you will fire a missile now. You can shoot while sliding.
Uploading data.
So, you've accessed a network station. Well done, Samus. I have reviewed your vital signs and video log from the data you uploaded. I've run a full analysis, but I cannot account for why you lost consciousness. My readings indicate dramatic physical changes in you. Whatever caused these changes seems to have stripped you of most abilities. You might call it physical amnesia. That brings me to your assailant. I am checking the Federation database against your video log. It appears to have been a Chozo. The attacker's identity is not yet clear. I have determined that you are somewhere within the depths of ZDR. Your top priority should be to return to your ship on the surface. This situation is precarious. Trust your instincts as you navigate upward. This planet appears to consist of multiple areas. Shuttles, elevators, and other modes of transport connect them. Keep an eye out for ways to reach the surface. The ship's location is marked on your global map. Check it for yourself. You may encounter pockets of low temperature. Your Metroid DNA renders you vulnerable to such environments. Spending time in cold areas will be harmful to you. There are many such cold areas scattered underground. Do not enter them with your basic power suit. One final thing. Underground interference is preventing radio transmissions. Check in with me at any network stations you find.
So you can push the pause button to open your map. This thing, I did not use it, but this thing is a missile recharge station. Select lets you just access options. Pause lets you look at your, basic Metroid stuff. You can always look back at stuff that's happened. Here's another mechanic of this game. Melee counter. An enemy, if it goes to attack you physically, will flash. When it flashes, you can push the X button to counter them. If you push R or Y after a counter, you will fire pretty much an insta-kill shot. You will do heavy damage. Unless it is a boss. Anyway, this game has this mechanic. This game, if you go within a set area on the map to an item, an expansion or an item, your map square will flash. You'll get a flashing box. Once you have uncovered the item, have seen the item, basically, once you've uncovered the item or seen the item, it goes away and the icon just appears on the map. This is a missile tank. It ups your capacity by 2, so now I have 17. Anyway, this is an odd thing. Jump down here and you get a plot MacGuffin. An enemy's attack can be countered by pressing X at the whatever. You will never do it anyways. Nope. Of course I can't. Can't lower the volume. Because it looks like it's a little loud, because it's a little out of my ears. Anyway. The Emmy cannot climb up. The Emmy are weird, because the Emmy, when they catch you, you can counter them. You get two chances to counter them. However, you have about, I think it's 6 frames to counter. You will never rely on that. Energy from the central units transform the arm cannon into an Omega cannon. So, hold L, and you get this blue cursor and a unique camera angle. If you hold R in this mode, you'll charge up, and then once you charge, you'll fire like a super shot. Emmy, you cannot damage enemies normally. How you beat them is you blast their head off with the Omega cannon. However, because that cannon, you cannot move with it, and because that cannon takes time to charge, the enemies become less of threats and more of a puzzle. I say enemies, of course, because the game, you know, it said at the beginning there's 7 of them. So yeah, see, this square is flashing, or this area is flashing, which means there's an item. A lot of the time the items are obvious, like, yeah, it's right there, but you won't be able to get them for a while. Once you beat an enemy, you lose the cannon. This is a save room. You don't have to use missiles on those, I just like doing it for being, you know, to be dramatic. This thing makes absolutely no sense to me. This is an Emmy zone. Emmy zones are very odd. Once you enter one, you get the full layout of the Emmy zone. Including... oh, goodness. Including entrances and exits. That's what these are. And you also learn where that device thing that we got the cannon from is. You can go through the door again to leave, but there's no point at this moment. There's this. Emmy are indestructible. You cannot beat them normally. You need that cannon to do it. How Emmys work is Emmys are more or less, they're treated more or less like puzzles. They're not an outright fight. They're a puzzle. How an Emmy works, I don't know if... No, I can't get it to happen. Emmys are odd. It'll appear next time I go in. Also, something invisible in the background. This door, can't do anything with this.
Uploading data.
Both enemy you encountered were clearly trying to capture you. They may have been hacked. If so, it's reasonable to assume all enemy will be hostile. Enemy send out a pulse to detect vibrations in the air within a certain range. Essentially, they can hear you. Upon detecting vibrations, an enemy enters surveillance mode to track their source. Stay out of its line of sight when this happens. Otherwise, the danger to you increases dramatically. An enemy that has seen you will begin pursuit. Part of the pursuit protocol is to seal the enemy zone exits. You will be trapped inside. To survive, you must leave its range of pursuit. Evade the enemy and it will disengage. This will also unseal the exits. An enemy never leaves its assigned zone. Their control system must permit them to operate only within that range. I estimate a 99% probability of death if an enemy captures you. There may be a very small opportunity to escape, but exploiting this window will be virtually impossible. The enemy are immune to your current weapons. You lack the unique energy used to defeat the first enemy. Your only option now is to evade capture and find an exit. Your highest priority in an enemy zone should be simply to survive.
Yeah, that's what I don't get about the Emmy zones. Is the game said that you after you defeat all the X on the planet, they got a video saying that there were X on this planet. So then the Galactic Federation sent out a bunch of Emmys, but immediately after the Emmy showed up, contact was lost with them. What are the Emmy zones? Why are they specific, like, factory type? Like, these are deliberate zones. These are, like, made sections for the Emmy. Because they all look the same. They're all a factory-style area. Does this planet just have pre-built stuff like that? Because, yeah, we're in a factory right now, but, like, later when you get into, like, an area that's kind of like a foresty area, it makes no sense. So what, the Emmy showed up, immediately set up zones, and then lost? Like, what happened? I don't know. Anyway, so how the Emmy work is, as he said, they send out like vibrations. So you'll feel a little rumble, and you'll hear a sound. When you hear the sound, that means there's an Emmy around. Emmy will then proceed to start chasing the sound you were making. That is the bubble that is appearing around me as I'm walking. When an enemy sees you, it speeds up and starts to attack you faster. If you get to an area where it can't follow, it will kind of just leave you alone. Like this one cannot go through tunnels. So that's what this is. That door is an Emmy door. If they are chasing you, the Emmy door, you know, becomes locked. Not if they're chasing your sound, just if they're chasing you. Also, more of this thing. With the whole of the flashing where it's like, oh, there's an item here. There's an item over here? Where? Where's the item in the Emmy zone? I can't get back up anyways. So it's flashing here, it's like, oh, there's an item, we don't know where it is. Once you uncover the item, the flashing stops. Another save room. You can get this item early. I just don't know the timing to do it. And when you're in water, you can't jump very high, and your movement is hindered. Unless you open up part of the area for the water to move. So now the water over here is lowered. I do like that type of stuff. That stuff's cool. Where it lowers, you know, you can lower water levels. This room, the one with the weird little pillar in the middle, is a map station. How long was I muted? I like being muted during explanations. Basically, the game shows you maps. It shows you the rooms. That's what these are. Purple are transports to other areas. Yellow are save stations. You can save at a save station. You can save at a map. You can save at a network. Purple are transports to other areas. Gray is the Emmy zone. I love not being unmuted. So, as Adam said, you cannot enter cold. You do take damage. And the damage increases as you're in here for longer and longer. You go from taking like 3 at a time to 6 at a time to 10 at a time to a full tank at a time. You are not meant to be in that area. Anyway, red missile covers, like we just saw there, require just a missile. And what they usually mean is you're about to get an item. This is an item. This is the charge beam. The game, of course, has to give you a little tutorial on how it works. Focuses beam energy to unleash a powerful shot. Press and hold Y to charge, and then release to fire. Charged shots damage enemies immune to normal beam shots, such as robots and bosses. They can also open charge beam doors. In addition, Samus can perform a charge attack by spin jumping when the beam is fully charged. So, tap the button to fire, hold the button to charge. Charge shots can't open this door. You open the door with charge shots. Anyway, purple tank with a weird E on it is an energy tank. It ups your capacity by 100. So normally how ME work in an area is you are never able to beat an ME on your first time through its area. You always have to get an item to let you. So here, the central unit was blocked by a charge beam door. So that is my goal right now, is to go back into the zone and unlock it with the charge beam door. Charge beam does technically do more damage than a missile. However, it's it's slower and less effective. Here you. Yeah, you're a block I can't deal with. I believe this is actually the area I gotta go to next. However, I'm at 36 minutes, so I'm gonna end it off here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.